Alright, hey everyone, it's Matt. Welcome back to True History of the Silver Screen. Today we're going to talk about the movie Hollywoodland. So, Hollywoodland, it's kind of hard to describe. It's like a movie, but not a movie, and it doesn't betray, but it goes through the life of George Reeves. It was a good movie. I mean, I enjoyed it. There were parts of it that seemed to kind of drag. A few scenes where it was like, okay, this kind of dragging, but really not moving, progressing. But ultimately, in the end, it was disappointing too, though. I mean, it's one of those movies that's good, but yet the ending is just so, I don't even know what the right word is. It's just disappointing. It was a letdown. And it really never tells us, and I mean, we really still don't know either, though, whether he was murdered or committed suicide. So, all right, so we're going to go a little bit more deeper in the dive, or deeper into, what the movie told that was accurate versus what Hollywood added into it, like they like to do. We're going to talk about an iconic scene where George Reeves had to kind of talk a kid out of shooting him. All right, so this, in a sense, true because George Reeves says it happened, but yet there are no witnesses that have come forward, or really no one else out there that can say that actually happened. So probably to kind of help with the pacing of the film was the introduction of color into the TV series here. Hollywoodland, the movie had it happening more towards the second season, but in actuality it was the third season where color was introduced. So also in this film, it kind of brings up the urban legend of people yelling Superman during the filming, at Reeves and everything, so that's that. Alright, so the scenes with Simo, Adrian Brody, was a completely fictional character, person. It was more similar, kind of like with the movie The Kid. Kind of gave you that character you could follow, throughout the movie. Alright, so at this point we're going to go more into the true facts of the film. So a big portion of this film goes over the relationship with George Reeves and Toni Mannix. So they did date, in real life for quite a while, even though at the time Toni was still married. They did actually go on double dates as well. And Toni also bought George the house as well. Hey, sir, excuse me. Have you seen Poltergeist?
Nah, that's a fake film.
What? Yeah, like Bigfoot's a man in a suit too, right? She ended up buying the house where George ended up being found dead. Another true fact in the movie is George was in the movie Gone with the Wind, just like we kind of saw towards the beginning of this movie. George was born in January 5th, 1914 in Iowa as George Heifer Brewer. George didn't necessarily get an early start, but early. I mean, he started acting in high school and then had an opportunity to go to Pasadena Junior College to continue. So after his brief success with Gone with the Winds, he really never got an opportunity to capitalize on it due to the World War going on. So during the whole wartime and post-war, George found himself in the similar shoes to many of the other famous actors out there, and there just wasn't many jobs going around at the time. So, but lucky enough for George, he was able to get the role of Superman. You say that now, and that'd be like, oh, I want the role of Superman. I want it. So many people would want it. But during that time, it wasn't really, a highly sought after job. All right, so this leads us to the night of June 16th, 1959. That brings us about 1 in the morning, where George went downstairs to have a argument with Leonore Lemon, his fiance at the time. He came down to really more confront her on the volume level that her and her group of friends, I think it was like 3 to 4 of them, were making at 1 in the morning. I don't blame the guy. It's prime sleeping time right there. After confronting his fiance, George went back upstairs where Miss Lemon allegedly narrated his final moments. Quote, "He's going upstairs to shoot himself. There was a sound that the group heard. Quote, see, he's opening the drawer to get the gun. After the single shot was fired, she said, "I told you, he shot himself." So despite hearing a gunshot, it still took 45 minutes before anyone called the police. So in fact, the only person that went to check on George was somebody who didn't even know who he was. So when the police arrived, they went upstairs to find George on the bed with the Luger on the floor. So the police ruled the death a suicide, and Lemon had told the police that she was only joking about her narrative. So it makes you wonder, why does it just seem like there are questions behind the case? So here's a couple to name. The police never tested Reeves' fingers or skin for any gunshot residue, nor did they count how many bullets were left in the gun. There was also a number of bruises on his body that they decided not to investigate. So another interesting fact was that not only did they not check him for the gunshot residue, but there were no fingerprints on the gun. The fatal bullet was found in the ceiling above the bed and the casing underneath his body. There were also no powder burns on his head. Today's, science of bullet projection, where the shell was, kind of would have, been like at this type of angle, which just kind of adds up to it. And another thing was he was found naked. Immediately after being in an argument with his fiance, which none of the guests recalled him being naked. So we're going to kind of go over some of the options of what could have happened, as well as the one that they put in the film. So one of the theories, and it's the second one shown in the film, is one of the Mannixes, either Eddie or Tony. So in this one, it's kind of like, that Tony was hurt by the breakup, and either Eddie, out of revenge of his wife being upset, or, Tony hired somebody, probably one of Eddie's men. And of course, there's the first one where Lemon, his fiance. All right, so this brings us to Lemon here. She was explaining to the officers there were 2 holes also found in the floorboard. She could account for one where she said days prior she was fooling around with the gun, and that's how one of those 2 holes got there. But again, it was overlooked. So then that leads us to the third theory, which is George Reeves maybe having a midlife crisis, midlife breakdown, whatever we want to call it, and in fact did commit suicide. I'm not going to really say what I think happened. I just do believe that there was foul play, and I think further investigation should have happened. So hey, stay tuned. Maybe we'll be coming to you from California.
Wait, I thought we were in California.
All right, so for more information on true history of the silver screen, click that link right here. More from us here at Culz Paranormal to the left. Don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. And as always, let us know what other true Hollywood films or other true stories that they made a film about you want us to check out.